Hey y'all. Sorry, I was getting my tea. Thanks for hanging out a little bit longer. So we're late tonight, guys, because I like to stay for the whole boat. So I don't stream over. That's me. Hey, Seventh. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Hey, Sandy Wandy. And Mon. Hey Mon. How's it going? Pictures for the future. I think we could all use some pictures for the future for sure. Absolutely. Let's see. I'm gonna take a look now. So I don't know about you guys, but I felt like this whole week was like kind of a beating, right? Maybe that's just me, but I feel like there's a little bit of that going around. Hey, look, it's Hey Carrie Ann. Hey Carrie Ann, nice to see you. Thanks for coming by. You know what's funny is I opened the studio and there was a couple people chatting, and then I turned the go live and then it dropped down to 0 and then it dropped right back up to 6. I guess people saw that I clicked the go live button or something. So I'll go back through for folks. Make sure I say hi to everyone who's here. Hey, Seventh. Hey, Sandy Wandy. Hey, Mon. Hey, Carrie Ann. Good to see you. Look who it is. Hey, Garrett Brown. How are you doing? Garrett Brown is my friend from way back when. We have known each other for 20 years. He's got all the stories. Don't tell any of them. Yeah, there's some new stories. It's okay. Let's see. Janet G is here. Hey, Janet G. How's it going? Jesse Miller unboxings and more. Good to see you. I love watching your videos. And hey, Carrie Ann, I love watching your lives too. They're pretty fun. They're pretty cool. I have to like dip in and out of a lot of lives because like I'll be working and I'll put them on and then I'll get a call or I'll have to like go to a meeting or like focus in on something. So I'll like have it on for a while, then I'll like dip out, then I'll like dip back in. And sometimes I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. I've lost track. Hey, Michael's Adventures. Good to see you. Wonder where you was. I was looking earlier. Thanks for waiting. So, a lot of us that myself included hang out on another channel called The Lifeboat that ran a little late tonight. And I mean, I guess I could just say I'm going live at 11 regardless, but the thing is that from a purely selfish perspective, I don't like to miss The Lifeboat. So, I mean, I always get something out of it, you know? So that's why that was, but I'm glad to know that I was missed. Like that's kind of nice. That's always nice to know, right? Thanks for looking for me. Let's see. Have I missed anybody who's popped up here? Hey, Mr. Brad Boy. Good to see you. How's it going? I'm gonna drop a couple and Miss oh, looks like Mary is here. Hey, Mary. Let's Do Crochet is here listening in the background. Yeah, I know that you're probably worn out. You had a busy day. It looked like a fun day, but a busy day. So that's totally, totally cool. I'm gonna see if I can grab a couple people's links to their channels in here without double echoing my voice. How are y'all doing this week? It's Friday. We made it. We made it. Perhaps we were limping to the finish line, but we made it. That's kinda how I feel. I mean, I don't know about for you guys, but for me, my week started out with, my husband out of town, so it was just me and our little guy, and he's going through this phase right now where he makes messes that are not fun to clean up, so that was stressful. And then middle of the week, I was just kinda tired and nervous, and then today, I had to tell my team at work that I am leaving the company. And I had already given my notice to my boss. I'd already, done all that. But today I shared the news with my team, with the people that I've been the manager for the past couple of years. So, yeah, Jesse Miller, that is what I had to do today. Um, it was really hard. I mean, it went better than I expected it to. I will say that much, but it's kind of like it's kind of like what I imagined breaking up with 6 people at once would be like, which sounds a little weird, but these aren't just people I work with. Like the team I am on, I have known most of them for years. Some of them I've known for the whole 7.5 years I've been working there. And like we butted heads and had ups and downs, but those people are not the reason I'm leaving this job. Those people I have felt very close to, and I have felt like I know every people say this about work colleagues and it's kind of lip service, but I have known a lot of them long enough that they do feel like family and I do want to keep in touch with them and I do want them to call me for random things at weird hours of the night. I know that not everybody is going to just because that's the nature of things, but um, I have made some really good friends there and those people are not the reason that I'm leaving at all. In fact, they're the reason it's hard to leave. Um, so the talk went well. It went better than I would have expected. Nobody threw any tomatoes at me, which would have been hard to do because it was over Teams. So, but it went better than I expected it to. It was just very raw because it makes this big change very real for me. And I don't know about you guys, but like even when you're planning a very big change and like you've already set the wheels in motion for it to happen, there are sometimes these like moments where it's suddenly like, oh, it's real now. Like this is real. Like there's been moments before this where it's real, but like I accepted an offer. I gave my notice to my current boss, but once it becomes like public knowledge at my work, now it's real. Now they're not, no one's trying to convince me to stay anymore. Now it's all about like, how do we wrap things up to make things as easy as possible when Kristen goes. So it's bittersweet. I'm glad I at least, I'm glad I get along with these people. I'm glad that I have good relationships with them. Otherwise, it would be a lot harder. Thanks for asking, Jesse. Let's see. Miss Sunrise Dawn is here. I don't think I said hi to you at first. Good to see you. Oh gosh, Mr. Brad. That's rough. Our job has been mandating Saturdays every other week. If we run out of parts, so then more than likely they'll send us home. Okay. So that's rough. Mandating Saturdays every other week. Mandating Saturdays is not so fun. Oh, are you asking about my work, folks? How much crying? Or is that referring back to something in the chat that I missed? How much crying? Um, so they didn't come on camera. I didn't require them to come on camera. I put myself on camera so that they could see me. So I'm not positive who was crying and how much crying there was. Um, I kind of wanted to give them that space to like process in whatever, however way worked for them. A couple of people told me they were crying or wanted to cry. And it's one of those things where I'm still working out my notice. Like my last day is not till June 7th. So I'm going to keep interacting with them. This was just kind of like this is what's happening. This is what we're preparing for. Yeah, Jesse, they did understand. And I have been over this with my boss and I've been over this with, everybody I work with and everybody that knows that I've been working on making this move is that I have been working in a corporate job for 7.5 years, basically behind a computer screen. Um, and that can be great for a lot of people. That can be great and that can be a godsend and that can be the perfect job for you. But for me, I have really, really, really missed working one on one with people and actually working as a therapist, which is what I went to school for and what I got my license for. And I had these hangups for a long time about thinking I can't do that because I'm not like fixed yet and I'm not like perfect. Um, but I've come to find out, go figure through a lot of friends that I've made, a lot of people that I've talked to that um, people don't really relate very well to like a perfect therapist anyway. Like most people don't want someone who's perfect, like there's things that we're good at and things that we have knowledge and education about, but um it's hard to open up and share your stuff with someone who you think is like a perfect person and like got all their crap together. Um, Open secret is that no one has all their crap together. Uh, Even that person that you think has all their crap together and has a perfect life does not. No one has all their crap together. Let's see. And oh, a lot of people came and hopped in. I gotta catch up on the chat here. Mr. Brad Boy says, but my week was good and everything I got to meet with one of my friends yesterday. That's awesome. We kicked it at the roller coaster park for a little bit. She wasn't feeling too good though. She said it was after what she ate. Oh, that's a bummer. Yeah, sometimes like park food is questionable. But that sounds fun. That sounds cool. Sorry guys, it's my loud water bottle. It's loud to me. Oh, you got taken off the weekend list? Yes. Yes. So we just get our uninterrupted wildlife content. I'm excited. Hey, Scratch and Pete PA, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching some of my videos and commenting on them. I appreciate that. I always like feedback and it's really fun. It's fun to see people are enjoying them. That's what I do them for. I do them for fun and hopefully to, make someone's day a little bit better or a little bit more entertaining at least. Thanks, Garrett. I appreciate that. I appreciate that very much. I really do. It was a difficult thing to do. Um, yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, they're doing good selling. They're just expecting us to do more. So it's not that we were down in rate. Everyone is just required right now for overtime. I feel like that's like a theme right now. Like a lot of companies are doing this. Emily in 8 hours, yes! For those of you who don't know, Emily is an adorable raccoon that Michael's Adventures on their channel does, premiere videos of I think it's the is it the previous night's, like, night camera like, trail camera of the wildlife Michael's Adventures, but he has a lot of cool wildlife, content and things like that, and I love watching Emily the raccoon. I think she's adorable. It's a great way to start my day because it's kinda chill and she's cute and it's just happy. I like it. It's very happy. I recommend it highly. It's very calming also, because I don't need a lot of like really heightened stuff first thing in the morning. I mean, I don't know, maybe y'all's morning starts a lot earlier than 8 a.m., but I that's about when my work day starts, is about 8 a.m. So that is I'm gonna share a couple folks' channels here. I don't wanna, forget anybody. That's Miss Hey Carrie Ann's channel. Hey Carrie Ann has been doing a lot of cool live streams lately. Um, some kind of like study with me stuff, which is always fun if you just need to hang out and, connect with people a little bit. Also some Church of Scientology protesting type stuff too. I really like her channels if you get the opportunity to. Um, let's see. Let's see. I'm getting faster at the sharing channels, guys. I'm getting better at it. And of course, Michael's Adventures, which has the cutest raccoon I've ever seen on the internet. And like from another place, I like watching it because it reminds me of being a kid at my grandparents' house and watching the raccoons on their back porch. Oh, Cosmic. Hold on, I have to skip down in the chat here. I want to catch up. I gotta catch up. Cosmic. Meltdowns are okay. It's okay. I'll have meltdowns sometimes. I don't know if you've already gone to go hibernate, but we love you too. I don't know if you can see them, but there's ones in support going up in the chat for you. Um, we all have meltdowns, like we do. Like I probably look chill right now, but before I was walking my dog outside and I was intermittently like sprinting. Like I would just randomly like break into a run because I like had to get, whatever pent up weirdness I had out. Um, and then when I got home, instead of going right back inside, I sat down on the curb in front of my house and just kept listening. And I down the grass, like in the little area between, the Oh, there I am. I'm back. But yeah, I had a little bit of a mini meltdown. Um, so please don't beat yourself up over a meltdown. Just do what you need to do to recuperate, you know? Like we all have different things we do that help us recover from something like that. Um, for me today, I had to lay down on the grass and stare at the sky, like stare at the night sky for a little bit. So please take care of you. That's all I'm saying. Hey, it looks like more people are filtering in. More people are coming to say hello. I like that. I appreciate that. Looks like I guess it is Friday night, right? Like people like folks maybe would like to hang out more on Friday nights than other places or than other nights. Sorry. Don't want to make sure to get Hey Mon. Oh wait, Mon is saying hi to the other Kristen. I'm gonna take a minute to catch up to the chat and see who all has come in since I started yakking, you guys. Because I have chat up here on StreamYard, it's a bit slower, there's a bit of a delay. So, let me double check here. Okay, for the record, friends. Why can't I get it to click? There we go. For the record, friends, I wasn't actually streaming from the shower. I was standing out on the front porch when it was raining because I thought the rain sounded nice. And I never live streamed from my phone before, and I thought, well, this is a good, first, good thing to try first. And apparently the vinyl siding of my house and my porch looked like the inside of a bathroom, and it sounded like a shower, and it was like just my face. So I had like a bunch of like random people drop in who thought it was a very different kind of channel, possibly. But you're right. You're right. I tend to usually have more women come hang out in my live streams than men. Probably because I know more women, like most people that come hang out here, I know from the lifeboat, and there's a lot of women on the boat these days. So, but you're right. It's something about Friday night, I guess. Like everyone wants a place to hang out. Hi, Kim. Hi, my other's keeper. Good to see you. Thanks for coming to hang out. Miss Dragon is here. Hey, Miss Dragon. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're getting some time to care for yourself as well as your other that needs your care as well. Hey, Mischief! Mischief! I feel like I haven't gotten a chance to shout at you in a while. It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Ooh, people helping each other out getting watch hours. I love that. I love that. That's awesome. Let's see. Let's see. Okay. And now I think I'm getting caught up now. Let's see. Yeah, and that's where I jumped down to check on Cosmic and remind her that it's okay to have meltdowns. Maybe you didn't need that reminder, but I feel like I need that reminder sometimes because I will melt down and then I'll like unnecessarily like guilt myself about it, and then that just makes me want to melt down again. Don't do that. Just rest and take care of yourself. Hey, Bella's Whisper Farmstead is here. Good to see you, Kristen. So this is Kristen with an IN. I'm Kristen with an EN. There's a bunch of different ways to spell our name. It's pretty fun. Oh, I'm glad to hear that. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for sending. I'm sending love right back to her. Likewise. Oh no, I'm so sorry, Garrett. I've been melting down for 2 days. They changed my meds, and I'm not enjoying it. Has it been 2 days? Maybe they're still leveling out. You know, obviously, if they don't level out and you still feel melty, then that's a good time to maybe go back and talk to the doctor about it. I'm sorry though. That sucks. That sucks. But I've got my daughter this week, so I just stuff it all down inside. I mean, I can kind of understand needing to, like, stay poised and, like, stay calm for your children so that they don't think something is their fault, but I think it's okay to explain to them, I don't know, like, "Mommy's very upset right now, it's not your fault. Mommy's very stressed out about other things. Mommy's going to go take 5 minutes to go lay down for a second, and then I'll be right back, and I love you very much," or, something like that. Um, if your child is old enough and can safely be left alone for a few minutes, obviously. Um, I don't know that stuffing it down is the way to go though, because it's when we stuff stuff down that it comes out sideways or blows up later. So I don't know that I would try not to stuff it down inside. That's that might hurt more in the long run, my friend. Hey Danielle, good to see you. Thanks for hanging out. Sorry guys, my clicker showing the comments is slower than usual. I was not in the shower. That's not what it was. But now I may as well have been, like, it will go down in history now. I should actually, like, do one, like, from the shower, like, just, like, fully clothed, but, like, turn on the water, like, just to mess with people. That would be funny. That would be funny. Oh, and it looks like I'm almost caught up on the chat, I think. Yeah. Yeah, it looks like I am. So I'm gonna make sure. Let's see. If I haven't shared your link and you have a channel, I want to make sure to give you guys a shout out. Do, 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 do. Oh, hey, I thought I already subscribed to you, Scratch and Pete. I apologize. I apologize. I'm going to share your link too. Because I like to, that's part of it, right? Like small creators, small channels need to support other small channels. We can't all be, gigantor channels. Sometimes, but one thing I like about the lives is it is actually just as nice if you're not a gigantic channel because you can kind of connect with each other a little bit quicker, a little bit more. If you don't have like gazillion comments running all the time. It's harder to connect individually if you have the gazillion comments running. Not that that's not a great thing. Like, I mean, that's a good problem to have, right? Like, I'm not gonna knock that, but I do like being able to talk with everybody and connect with everybody and individually. That makes me happy. Especially because I feel like I get to know some of you better. Like, I would have never, I would have never, like, seen a channel about the cool unboxing stuff that Jessie does, but I met her through, Tuber Chat, which is, like, a channel that's designed to, support small creators. Mary from Blessed to Crochet turned me on to that. So it's another avenue for connections in kind of a different way, like the lifeboat is one, obviously, but, it's kinda opened it up to other things too. I mean, so I just think it's really cool. Let's see. You think so, Janet G? I should definitely do the the spoof in the shower video and just, like, be in there in my clothes. I should make them, like, really weirdly, very like, even more modest than usual clothes, like, I don't know, like a parka or something. That would be funny. That would be the ultimate clickbait though, right? Kristen in the shower, and then it's just, like, me in a parka reading a book. That would be fun. Oh, that's right, don't forget the future photos, sorry. For anyone who hasn't, seen this part before, Mon is in Australia, which is like 16 hours ahead of me, so she's in the future. So she sends me pictures of what the weather looks like from the future, and I get to take a look at them and share them with you guys too. Oh, and the future looks really nice, you guys. I'm really get excited. I hope it stays this way on the way here. Here we go. Look at that. Like every photo I've seen so far of the future that Mon sends, it's like so it's just blue without a cloud in the sky. Like, we'll get the really big blue skies here sometimes, but just the utter cloudlessness of that. Like, have y'all ever seen anything like that? Usually there's still at least a few like white puffy ones, but it's just like pure blue in these photos. It's really beautiful. Thanks for sharing those, Mom. I always love that. That always makes me smile. One of these days, you're gonna send me something crazy where it looks like it's raining and I'm not gonna know what to do. I'll be so confused. If I left off your channel and you have a wrench, feel free to drop it. Um, if you would like to share it, let me know and I will do so. Because everybody in here, I've gone and checked out your channel, so I know that I like them and they kind of do stuff that's similar to like encouraging connection and stuff like that. So that makes me happy, and I want to, you know, share those with others as well. So here is my other's keeper. My other's keeper does a lot of really, really important content, like interviews that are really good interviews about people from all who have all different kinds of experience, like ranging from like dementia to like someone who works as an author to people who have suffered a particular kind of trauma. It's just like I really like Kim's channel, like for just kind of seeing what the rest of like what other human experiences are like. It's been really cool for that. But she also does like some fun kind of lighter stuff too. Like I think on Fridays she does a game day too. So go check out her channel for some really, really cool stuff. And I'm gonna pause from sharing. That's fun. Yeah. I'm gonna catch up with the chat again, you guys. I want to see what we're talking about. I see what we're talking about. Thank you, Mon. Thank you for saying the YouTuber things for me that I always forget to say. Mon reminds us to hit the like button, please, folks, and subscribe. Kristen would like that. I would. I feel weird saying it, but I would like that. But you don't have to hit the thumbs up. If you're not feeling it, you can hit the thumbs down. That's fine too. Just have the courage of your convictions. That's all that I ask. Don't be on the fence. Don't be neutral. Love me or hate me. Don't be on the fence about that. Janet G says, weird fact. My 13-year-old niece has a phobia with raccoons. Oh no, really? The very mention of them sends her into a terror panic. Oh no. That's so sad because I think they're so cute. Oh, 1,100? Holy guacamole. 1,100? Reese had 1,100 in her chat earlier tonight. It was flying. I like these smaller, more relaxing chats sometimes. Well, especially since you're modding Miss Sunrise Dawn. I don't know how you mod a chat of 1,100 people. I actually like only caught the first part and then the last part. Like I need to go back and watch replay for the middle because I've turned it on the first part when I was going to pick up my kiddo and then I had him, so I had to turn it off. And then my husband got home and we were doing other things, and so I caught like the very tail end of it. But I think there's probably important stuff in the middle that I missed. So I have to go back and watch that. But she's a very unique person, and I really enjoyed watching her, and I really enjoyed the community that she's brought together, and I find her to be a very inspiring person, and I get the impression she doesn't realize is that she does that for people, and I would like to see, you know, good things happen for her, and I'm glad that she has support. Um, but yeah, that's a big chat. 1,100 people. I can't even. I can't even. Be like Kevin McAllister from Home Alone shower scene, scaring off the robber. Sounds fun. The parka in the book makes it funnier. Well, yeah, yeah. I want it to be like very clear. Like it's not what the title is. Like Kristen in the shower, and then like it's super, super like boring, like very like overclothed. I know, Miss Sunrise Dawn. I can't eat like I don't like I don't know how like that chat must just fly. I don't know how she keeps up with that at all. Like, I don't know how. I mean, I know you get to a point where you can't, like, address every single thing. You have to just, like, scroll through and, like, grab one here and there, but geez, that's wild. Yeah, I agree. That's amazing. I could not do that. The future is sunny. Oh, we love that the future is sunny because we've had a week of rain here. Yeah, Janet G, you've been traveling and I'm glad that you got back safely. I'm glad that you had a good a good trip and everything to visit family. Oh, Miss Sunrise Dawn, your laptop wouldn't cooperate? Oh, bummer. That stinks. That stinks. Well, I know that you said, "Oh, I just pulled up your channel and I just saw your picture of your puppy dog. You're so sweet. Made me so happy." Before I forget, I am going to share your channel link too. I mean, I guess I could tell you to share your channel link. You have a wrench, so you can do that. But I was already here, so nah. One thing I like to do with people who say stuff, like people on YouTube who I've met here with you guys, they say stuff like, "Oh, I have a channel. I might post a video someday, but I haven't posted one yet." I like to go there and I like to subscribe and then click all notifications, and that way I know that, like, the first thing you ever post, I will get to see, and that, like, tickles me. That makes me so happy, and, I mean, it is a thing that's kinda it can be kinda nerve-wracking, right? Because you are putting yourself on a screen, even though, like, there's only, like, there's 17 people in here, or at least that, show the next little eye. I mean, most likely y'all are all people that I know and have met and have interacted with before in another chat. Like, it's not like a crazy 1100 thing of, like, half of it being strangers to me, but, um so it can be nerve-wracking, but the first video I ever did, I think, like, like 2 views on it. So it was very low pressure. It was very low pressure. So, I mean, like, most of us, we don't have to worry about our very first video on YouTube ever having, like, hundreds and hundreds of views. Most of us just don't. But the good thing about that is it makes the first one you do very low stress and very low pressure, and guys, I don't think I didn't even tell anybody, like, on the boat or any other communities I was in that I was doing it. I was just like, "I'm just gonna hit record, and I'm just gonna, like, see what this is like." Just to see if it's even see what it even is. And, gosh, I actually did a weird thing today. Like, I was replying to another comment on a more recent video, and it's gotten to where, like, it'll show me in my recommended feed. And I promise I'm not just, like, clicking and watching my own videos all day long. I would not be comfortable doing that, but it's like it's popping me up in my recommended feed, and so, like, one of my really old ones came up, like, the first one I ever posted back in December came up, and I just, like, it was weird, it was surreal. It was like, well, one thing that was about I was about 40 pounds heavier, so I look a little different, and another thing I was, like, clearly not as comfortable with other humans, so that's something. It's interesting whether you have the ability to go back and compare, like, your present self to your past self is really interesting and can be really enlightening too. Like, whether you have, like, old journals, whether you have, like, old photographs of yourself, like, videos, something like that, it can be really really enlightening to see, like, where maybe you've grown and maybe you're the same. And um I would suggest starting a channel and doing this if for no other reason than to if you're on some kind of journey, like if you're trying to, like, improve yourself or change something in your life, I would say do this. Like, even if you private all the videos, then you have a record of what's happened for you while you're on that journey. And when you feel discouraged, you get to go back and see how far you've come. And there's just, like, I've always had journals I could read back on, but there's just something so powerful about, like, a visual. And it's really weird at first to, like, see yourself on screen. It's really weird. And I was really uncomfortable with it at first. And I'm still kind of uncomfortable with it sometimes. But, um, there's still a lot of benefits to doing it also. So I highly recommend. That's all I have to say. Okay. Yeah, I figured that there was stuff in the middle that was really heart-wrenching. So, I will go I will definitely go back and watch that. I'm back! So, on my end, the screen goes black, and then I get the little spinning wheel of death, so I'm not sure if you guys can still hear me when that happens. Yeah, I agree, Miss Sunrise Dawn. She definitely doesn't see how amazing she is. But, yeah, in a way, that is part of what makes her amazing. But it would be nice to see her recognize a little bit more of it. Like, I'll say that much. I think a lot of us could stand to, give ourselves a little bit more credit. I think a lot of you guys could stand to give yourselves a little more credit too. I think that there's a lot of that goes around. Wound draining time. Oh, good luck. Godspeed, Miss Dragon. I have been there with my spouse before. Good luck and Godspeed. It's not always a comfortable process. Hmm. Aw. Dawn and Janet, she's such a little butterfly, and Reese will grow her big wings soon. It's amazing how she has grown already. It really is. It really is. Uh, that's an example where it's pretty powerful to see like some of her earlier videos versus like her current ones, and just how she interacts with other people and how she's learned that, you know, people can be friends and people can be trustworthy. It's very moving in a way that not a lot of things are. And when I first started watching a lot of, like, YouTube like this with the live streams and, like, where people share their personal experiences and stuff, like, months and months and months ago, like, not anytime recently, but at first, like, before I interacted at all, I wondered to myself, "Is this real? Like, surely some of this is staged for views. Like, surely people are just like, that's how you get more subscribers, is, like, you have really dramatic things happen and yada, yada, yada." And I was kind of jaded and kind of skeptical about everything. But the more and more I watched and more I talked to people, the more and more I realized, like, no, it's not. I mean, everybody has things that they share and then things that they keep to themselves. That's just natural. That's just normal. But I don't think anyone, like, no one's faking things. Like, it's, so it's very unique to be able to genuinely connect with people on a platform like this. It's really different. Hitting up with the chat, you guys. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know how it happened, Jesse Miller. That's really interesting. I've never seen my own videos in my suggested feed. Hmm. I mean, I rewatched one of mine because someone had commented with a timestamp about when I said something and they asked me something about it. And so I clicked it so I could go back and see what it was they were asking about. Because y'all know if these get going on long, like, I'll yammer on for an hour and, like, I don't know exactly what I said at 20-minute mark. So I was going back to watch it. So maybe they started popping up because I did that. Um, I'm not sure. Not sure. And maybe it's also because I just post a ridiculous amount of videos now. Like, I I try to post a video every day, um, sometimes 2 if I can, and then a live stream every day. And, I probably need to find new things to do because I do a lot of karaoke and a lot of the Page 47s, but those are fun for me, like, and as long as they're, I mean, that's kind of like, it's kind of stuff I like to do. I do like to do the food stuff occasionally too, or I like to combine the food with the Page 47, with talking about books. So, I mean, I'm still exploring what I like to do best. I mean, as far as like what people watch more of, it seems like people watch more when I talk about mental health, when I talk more about, like, when I talked about borderline personality disorder. I think that's been what most people have watched. Like, that's gotten more watch time than anything else I've done, except for like something really silly, like where I ate a jalapeno and made a really silly face, but that was a short. So, So there's a theme there. Like people are wanting that information about mental health. Um, I guess I took it for granted that I had access to a lot of that stuff, and I didn't realize that it was so needed. Um, I don't know. So I want to keep doing the things that are fun, but I also want to do things that people find helpful because that's kind of my jam. I like to help. That's kind of in my nature. If I'm not helping, then I'm not happy. Oh wow. So something really I missed something in the chat. Okay. 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 Here we go. Janet G said, Miss Dragon drains are good, but not fun. I had those for my double mastectomies, Jackson drains. Wow. That sounds painful and uncomfortable. Oh, wow. Two-time survivor here. Stage 2 breast cancer in 2016, oral cancer in 2022. PET scan shows I'm cancer-free 1 year after partial tongue removal. I'm very grateful. Wow, Janet G. That's amazing. Wow. Wow. You are a survivor for sure. That's wow. You're a flippin' warrior. Like, that's inspiring to me. Wow. I don't know if one is the appropriate thing to say there, but I'm floored. Like, that's amazing. That takes a lot of not just like physical strength, but emotional strength too. Miss Sunrise don't ask, is it selfish that I'm excited about Reese moving closer to me? I truly hate that she's having such a rough time and that Jeff is being such a dick to her, but I'm excited that she's moving closer. I guess I can't comment about him because I think if that was discussed, it was probably in the middle, and so I don't know. I don't know. Um, but I don't think I'd call it selfish if you're excited someone that you like and appreciate is moving closer to you. I mean obviously in a perfect world, there would be no struggle and she wouldn't have to move and everything would be hunky dory. But if that were the case, then none of us would have met her or each other. So I mean, but I don't think it's selfish. I don't think it's selfish. I mean, if someone's gotta move, it's nice if your friend or someone you like moves closer to you. I don't think that's selfish, Miss Sunrise Dawn. And here's where the buffering happened. Work stuff. Mr. Radboy says, "Yeah, I was at work yesterday. We sat down and cleaned for like an hour, and the next thing you know, we weren't running. Our line was down, and me and a coworker sitting there watching Guitar Hero videos." Well, hey, if you're getting paid to watch Guitar Hero videos, that's not so bad. I know, right, Miss Sunrise Dawn? I went back not long ago and rewatched a couple of Reese's first videos. She doesn't even look like the same person in my opinion. I mean, you can see there's like here's like my 2.5 cents is that I think that day by day, she and people going through things like her are becoming more who they are becoming more of themselves and who they were meant to be. And those earlier videos are when that person, that light was being stifled and muffled. And gradually, she's coming out of her shell and you get to see more of who she is. So I think that she was always this person. She just couldn't let anyone see it. That's my 2.5 cents. My 2.5 cents. Just like I think that, everybody has I think everybody has a good person at their core. Like even people who seem like terrible people, I think there's a good person at everyone's core and it just gets messed up by life circumstances sometimes. So I'm glad to hear that, Mr. Bradboy. Yes, I can definitely be myself with you, Kristen, and share what I'm comfortable with. I'm real and I can see you are as well. Thanks. Thanks. Yeah. I if I had I don't know how people would do lives on YouTube if they were just like performing something. I mean, like on the karaoke videos I sing, but and there's a bit of a performance aspect to it, but I don't really feel like I'm performing so much because I usually pick songs that I like. I pick songs that are meaningful to me. And usually, if I'm singing them, I'm thinking of something that was personal to me that like relates back to it. So even though there's a performance aspect of it, I don't feel like I'm putting something on exactly, you know? I don't know the details here, but if this is true, then I am really, really glad that she has Tommy there for backup. Um, I mean, yeah, that would suck. That would suck. But again, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Oh, thanks, Jesse Miller. I'm glad that you enjoy them. Man, I could do the page 47s forever. I could just keep buying books and do that forever. I've thought about expanding that a little bit and doing a little bit more, like maybe starting some like doing actual book reviews or something like that. Um, Maybe around specifically like longer form stuff, like pre-recorded videos that are book reviews. And then I've also thought about like starting like a book club that we could do on the lives. Like it would be totally optional and you could still come hang out on the lives even if you didn't read the book. But I was thinking of starting something like that in June. Like, hey, the book this month is this one. If you want to read along with us, read along with us and we'll talk about it on this live on this date. That's kind of and then if you want to, you can come on camera to talk about it. Um, that was my thought. I mean, if y'all would be interested in that. I mean, obviously not mandatory. You can still hang out on the live if you didn't read the book. I just really like that idea. Let's see. I feel like most of us in this chat can't be themselves with you. Did you mean can't or can? I hope they feel like they can. Um, let's see. Oh wow. Oh, videos. Miss Dragon says I started doing my videos for the boys since nothing dies on the internet. They can go back and hear mom's voice. I like that. That's really cool. I like that a lot. I thought about, like, doing a separate channel, like, just for, like, reading kids' books. 'Cause I like reading aloud to my kiddo, and I do silly voices and stuff like that, but it's totally different than, like, stuff I talk about here. It's really not the same content at all, so I would think it would need to be a different I feel like it would be a different channel, because on all these videos, I select, like, not made for kids just because I know, like, there's always a chance that I'm gonna talk about something related to mental health or substance abuse or something really heavy that's possibly not something a little kid is ready to make sense of, at least not without an adult helping them. Mr. Radboy says, on a serious note, I'm very grateful too. My dad had cancer a couple years ago. He went through many surgeries and now cancer free. That's fantastic. I'm so glad that he's cancer free. And the bad news happened on my birthday a couple years ago. Oh, wow. That's always rough. That's always rough. But I'm so glad he's cancer free today. That's such a that's such a long, hard road. I'm so glad ever since though he's been doing good. I'm so glad to hear that, Mr. Bradboy. That's fantastic. He adventures a lot. Okay, okay, cool. Oh, that's right, Mon. I almost forgot. Thank you for reminding me. Don't forget to introduce Herman to everybody. So you guys, um, the group chose a mascot for my channel. I did it as like a show and tell, right? My grandfather caught a fish when I was very little, and he kept the fish's skull, and it dried out, and it was sitting in a closet at my grandparents' house, and when he passed away and my grandmother was cleaning out the closet, she found this fish head, and I said, "Whoa, that's cool." And she's like, "Oh, do you want that? I've been trying to get them to throw that away for 20 years." And so I kept him, and his name is Herman, and he is our channel spokesfish. Hello, guys. I'm Herman. I don't have a lot going on, but I just wanted to say hi. Hope you guys are having a good night. Bye. So he's our channel mascot, and you guys chose him. I did the show and tell, but I think, yeah, you guys chose him and asked me to do a voice for him. So, now he's part of it. Now it's history. Oh, wow. So it happened getting the bad news on your birthday, Mr. Broadway, kinda made me bitter for years, And when he sent bad news on my birthday was great. Then next thing you know, he gives the bad news. Wow. Wow. I felt he could have waited for the next day. I mean, that's my first question too, is like, I wonder why he picked that day instead of the day before or the day after. Um, but I don't know. I don't know what was going through his mind. I know that sometimes for me, when I have very difficult news to share, it's hard for me to get up the courage to share it. And it's like, if I have the guts to do it now, I better do it now or I'm going to lose the guts to do it. And then I'm not going to. Um, so I know sometimes that happens with me when I have difficult news to share. Like I had to honestly, I kind of had to do that with my team today at work when I told them I was leaving. Like, I mean, sharing that on a Friday afternoon, like somebody made a crack at me. They're like, "Yeah, go ruin someone else's weekend." That wasn't my intention, right? But I didn't wanna put it off, and I knew that if I the longer I put it off, the harder it was gonna be, and it wasn't gonna help them to not know about it, but a birthday is different. So, I can totally appreciate being upset and being a little resentful about that. Like, your feelings are valid. They're valid. Aw, Misha's here, and Misha said something really nice to me. Aw. Well, thank you. That's really sweet of you to say. I don't know what it means to be that, but, I hope I can live up to that, whatever that means. Thank you. Thank you, Misha. That was a really cool thing to say. Not sure how long I'll be able to stay, but can I just take a moment and say hold on, there's an effect here. Arg. Oh, no. Misha, I'm so sorry. I know you said you don't know how long you can stay, but if you can, what happened? If you feel comfortable talking to us, tell us what happened that has caused you to say "arg" in several different messages. Hmm. Miss Sunrise Dawn says Jenna G, being one of her moms, she has on very rare occasion asked us before opening up about some things. I hate some of the things he's done and said, but she's always said he's not a bad guy. Well, I mean, that's, something it's stuff I don't know. It's stuff I'm not privy to, so I won't comment on stuff I know nothing about. Um, but people are complicated. Good people sometimes do bad things. Bad people sometimes do good things and everything in between. And we don't really know if we're not involved in it. But it's not my place to, you know, it's just not my place. But I want good things for her, obviously. I want her to be in a better place and happier for sure. Mon says, "Could we send you a page 47 to you from a book we are reading?" I would love that, actually. That would be fantastic. If anybody wants to do that, if you'd like me to do a page 47 of a book you're reading, email it to me. My email is kristenmelinda47@gmail.com. I think a lot of you are friends with me on Facebook too. You can also send stuff to me there. But I would have a blast doing that because then I get to expand to stuff besides what I have on my bookshelf and what I'm reading. I love that. That's a cool idea, Mon. Thank you. Yeah, send that stuff if you have it, if you'd like to. And also, what a couple of my friends here did, Miss Dragon did it, and Mary from Blessed to Crochet did it, is they did their own page 47s that they posted up on their channels and let me know about it. It's like, I just think that's so cool. I love that. And the number isn't so important. Like it doesn't have to be page 47, although that is a meaningful number to me personally. So that's why I use it. But really, it's just kind of like the idea is that you're just taking a snippet, like just a snapshot of a book, and just saying, what do I get from this? What do I make of this? But yeah, I think that's a great idea. Michael going to sleep, gonna leave this running. Thank you, Michael. I appreciate you leaving it running to give me a little bit of extra watch time. That's pretty cool. I hear the watch time is important for the YouTubes, you guys. I hear it is meaningful. That is what I'm told. I'm still learning. Gonna be listening, but not in the chat for a minute. That's cool, Miss Sunrise Dawn. Thanks for listening. Oh, okay, cool. I wasn't sure. Like, it's okay if people feel one way or the other. But yeah, no, thank you, thank you. Calvin and Hobbes. Oh, I miss Calvin and Hobbes. Hmm. Oh, that's good to know, Miss Dragon. If it's labeled for kids, they do not allow comments. That's good to know. No, I don't know the species of Herman. I need to keep asking more of my fisher people friends. I need to get the picture of him when he had scales because I think that will allow somebody to make a better identification of him. I think he may have been a catfish though. That seems to be what was around, but I'm not positive. I'm not positive. Oh wow. Oh wow, Mon. My dad had to tell us straight away about him only having 2 to 3 months to live, and he fought for 3.5 years. Wow. I mean, I could see definitely not wanting to postpone telling that because if you feel like you've got such little time, I would think you wanna make the best of every minute you have, and you want your people to know so they can make the best of every minute they have with you. Um, that's so amazing. He fought for 3.5 years. That's incredible, Mom, and I know it must have been really, really hard losing him. Thank you for sharing that with us. Yeah, he was definitely a fighter for sure. I agree with Janet G. I think that would be cool, Miss Dragon. I love to see all your different, like, little, like, creatures and things around your menagerie. Makes me wanna do more with my raven puppet that I have. I would love that. I love puppets and I love puppetry, actually. I think that is so cool. It's just fun. It's fun for me. Okay. Mr. Brad Boy says he picked that day because he wasn't sure what could have happened. So he wanted to let me know in case the conditions got worse and didn't forget to tell me. Gotcha. So I can at least we know his intentions. I still would have waited though. Yeah. I can appreciate that too. Are you talking about my job, Misha? Oh wow, good. You're free. Well, not quite. Like I gave them notice, so I still have to work out my notice, but everybody knows now. So like I can I was being a little bit vague on here sometimes, but I don't have to be as vague anymore. I still should be, like respectful and a little vague, but not vague, but I mean, I don't know that like my corporate job is something anyone wants to hear about anyway. I don't know, it might be. Um, I worked for a health insurance company for 7.5 years. I worked in the department that for behavioral health specifically, the department that receives requests for authorizations, which is a fancy way of saying paying for things. I worked for the department that said, yes, pay for that, or no, don't pay for that. So really, I was the evil one or if not the evil one, I was the representative of the evil system, of the one that everybody hates and the one that everybody has complaints about. There's a lot of ins and outs to it, and there's a lot of window dressing and a lot of complexity to it. And yeah, yeah. So I don't know. I don't know if that's something people want to hear about, but maybe when I'm actually done with my time there, maybe that's something I'll talk about a little bit more. Hey, I'd love that, Jesse Miller. I like that. The next time I can't say anything, can I quote you, Kristen? People are complicated. You can. And I don't know that you don't have to give me credit for that. I'm pretty sure a lot of people have said that before me and were totally correct about it. Um, and I don't want to excuse anything terrible. I mean, again, you guys, I didn't see the middle. I don't know. I know Jack. I know that probably things have not been good. I've gathered that from previous stuff, but other than that, I know I know Jack, and not the guy from Titanic. Just I know Jack nothing. But I don't mean to condone anything if someone's done something terrible and been a jerk. If that's happened, then I have no intention of condoning that or excusing that. But also, when it comes to the relationship between two other people that I'm not in, I don't know anything about it. Like, how am I going to have an opinion on that? Like, I'm not in it, and neither of those people confide in me about it. So uh, I want people to be happy in their relationships. I want them to be healthy in their relationships, especially people that seem like good people, like Reese is. But it's not my place to have an opinion about how or why or what or when they do that. So I'm just glad that she has people that love her and support her. That's all. But people are complicated. People are bloody complicated. For real. I feel better now. I'm glad, Misha. I'm glad you feel better. I was just very overwhelmed, and I'm so grateful I was able to come here and scream. Hope I didn't get too loud for anyone. You can do that whenever you want. Ev For real, you can do that whenever you want if it helps. Hey, you want me to send you a link? You can come on screen and scream if you want. Or you don't have to show your face. You can just I mean, we'll warn everybody first in case you had your volume up loud and you don't wanna startle anyone, but you can come scream audibly too if you need to. Scream therapy. Yeah, I'm on Facebook as Kristen Melinda too, so y'all can add me on Facebook, Mr. Brad Boy. I'm not I'm not hiding on Facebook at the moment. I've been Mm, I just flipped the chat up and down, and I'm not sure where I am now, you guys. So, if I overlook something, please know that it is not because I don't think it is important. It is just because I'm still learning how to do this. Oh, good, Miss Dragon. My referral for my head MRI is in. Hopefully, it's soon. Yeah, I hope that. So, just the referral to get it done. It sounds like you're saying. I hope that you get it done quickly. So you can, you know, have some peace of mind too. I have had to have an MRI of my brain done before, and I am claustrophobic. I did not realize how claustrophobic I was until I tried to just go schedule one the same day. The neurologist gave me a referral, um, because mine was quick, just because of the insurance I was lucky enough to have at the time. They were able to just say, "Oh, you could go down there today if they have an opening." So I did. I didn't realize how uncomfortable I would be, but, like, as soon as they, like, laid me down on the thing that puts you in the tube, and as soon as they started trying to put this little, like, face thing over me, I flipped out, like, physically flipped out, like, my body leapt down the table, like, involuntarily of me. It was like I was watching my body do it, and I tried to lay back down, and it just, like, wouldn't happen, and I realized, "Oh, I'm way more claustrophobic than I thought I was." So I had to cancel it, I had to reschedule it, I had to get a psychiatrist to call in, what was it? I think Xanax for me, and, uh and my husband had to go with me because he had to drive me, and I think I had to take, like, a double dose because I was so amped up about being in that little tube, and, he had to, like, distract me, like, they let him stand outside the tube and, like, recite his Shakespeare lesson because he's a theater teacher. Uh, and then when he ran out of the Shakespeare lesson, he just started talking about, like, Patriots football trivia. So, the MRI was rough for me, so I hope you are not claustrophobic, or if you are, I hope they get you the good meds to help you get through it. Right, no more guilt from holding it in. Misha says, "Wow, did I miss something else happening? I'm so glad. Not my life, not my concern." I don't know if you're referring to, um, talking about, relatable Reese earlier, maybe we're talking about that, but, um, I if you missed it, I missed it too. Um, Mr. Brad Boy says Yeah, my dad also went to out of state to Florida to get laser surgery done to remove it. He had many procedures. That was one of the reasons he let me know while he could. Yeah. I have somebody close to me that is struggling with cancer and chemo going on for a long time right now too, and I'm not saying who it is because they're private about their medical stuff, but I have people close to me dealing with something like that. So, um, it's hard to know how to be best to be there for them. I think probably what I would tell someone in my situation is, just show up, and try not to treat them any differently. For some reason, it's really hard to take my own advice? Y'all ever notice that? Like, maybe you think of something really easily to help a friend get through something, but when it comes to, like, trying to talk yourself through something, useless. I don't know about you guys, but I need friends and I need people I trust to kinda reflect back to me when I'm being a nutso. Miss Dragon says, "There's always 2 sides of a coin, and I typically only see one side at a time." I can see that. Yeah, there are always 2 sides of a coin for sure. I think my problem is I always see 2 sides at once, you know, and then the side of the coin too. Um, Maybe it overcomplicates my life that I think that way. And I think myself in circles. I do that sometimes. People are quite complicated, says Garrett Brown. I have to agree with you. I have to agree. So tired of drama and judgments. Nobody is perfect. That's very true. Nobody is perfect. Nobody. Nobody, nobody. Or everybody is perfect. Either one. But yeah, I'm not a fan of drama and judgments either, for sure. Oh, wow. His meds were supposed to be the best ones with surgery, but he was still in pain from time to time. Yeah, cancer is really, really, really rough too. I mean, it's not gonna be a pain-free journey when somebody has cancer any way you slice it. All they can do is things to mitigate that. Jesse knows what I'm talking about with the MRI. Jesse Miller says, "Yes, it's the cage for over the face for a head MRI, that's the worst." Yes, that just, like I was kind of, like, almost able to, like, deal until they put that down, and it was just like, it was a physical response. It wasn't even like, I didn't even notice, like, the emotion anxiety right away. It was just, like, my body just, like, leapt. Like, it was weird. I scared the technician. For other body parts, they don't use the cage thing, but it's so close, it gives me double vision. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've heard of people that say, like, "Oh, I just go in there and I just fall asleep," and I'm like, "I can't fall asleep in there unless you drug me like a, I don't know, wild game in Africa or something." Miss Dragon says, "I'm not afraid of the claustrophobia, it's the damn noise." Yeah, they're really loud, but when I finally did manage to, go into it, the noise didn't bother me so much because I was sedated. Oh, look. Hey, Ann Hummingbird, it's good to see you. I'm glad Janet came to get you. I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for coming. I don't think this is the first time you've come to hang out with me, but if it is, then welcome. And actually, if it's not, then just welcome to tonight then. It's good to have you. I'm always super, super thrilled when more friends show up to hang out. Mm. Oh, okay, that's for Ann Hummingbird. Facebook messages. Okay. Do you have a little person that you take care of too? I can't remember. Or do you have an adult person that you take care of, and Hummingbird? Um, I have a little person that I take care of a lot. And so if I'm in and out of things, it's usually because I'm doing something for him. My dad and I live 30 minutes apart, so when he's available, I'm always willing to be there and visit him. Well, that's cool. That's nice to live that close. Well, this is interesting. Miss Sunrise Dawn says, I have a friend whose son is an actor. He recently was Insidious, the Red Door. He played the scary creature the person sees in the MRI machine. What? Sorry, that's what your story made me think of. There's this scary creature? No. I didn't even see that far. I didn't see that before I went. You would have needed, like, a triple dose of Xanax to get me in there. Dang, that's terrifying. I don't know what this is, but Misha says we got Brady's radiation mask unexpectedly one day. I knew something needed to be done with it. Was not going to let it sit and collect dust and be in the way. I hated it at first. It was a means of a restraint. I could see the locks that went to the table. It had a vintage frame without glass I had been working on. I hung the mask, then frame over centered. It is an inspiration celebration piece. Wow. That's really cool, Misha, that you took something that like you didn't like what it you associated with and made and transformed it to make it something that inspired you. I love that. I love that. Do you mean the MRI and hummingbird? Yeah, I find it terrifying. I can't. I think it's cool that people can. Yes, it threw me off guard too, Janet G. When I had my brain MRI, I didn't realize they were going to put the cage on my face. They just did it, and then poof, I was in the tunnel. I just had to channel all my zen and breathe. Yeah, I was too fast for them. They couldn't catch me. That's one of my, adult oh, you have 2 people that you care for. You care for an adult who's 49 and a little girl who's a little girl. Oh gosh. I see what you're saying. I'm sorry, I misread. Physically, she's an adult, but mentally, she's a little girl. I see. Okay. So you're a caregiver and oh, wow. That's a lot. That's a lot for you. I mean, even, even if we love and care for someone, we still need some time to ourselves sometimes. That's a lot. Do you have respite care or anything like that? Mary's been encouraging me to look into respite care for my little guy. Even if it's just like an hour here or there, it's just good to be able to have like an uninterrupted chunk of time to like, heck, take a nap or just something, just to, take time to be yourself instead of just caregiver you. Because that can get as much as I'm a helper by nature, and that's what I love to do, and like that's what I run to. Like that's my coping. Like if I get too in my head about me, if I get very upset, if I get triggered, depressed, craving, any of those things, like at first I feel really dysregulated and then I have to jump right to, okay, how am I going to help somebody else? And sometimes I have to watch it because it can get unhealthy, right? If you just use it to ignore your own issues and why you do things. But other times, like when I know what's happening and like I know I'm just dysregulated at this moment, I just need to get out of myself. Um, like that's my inclination. But if that's your inclination, if you're like a healer and a helper by nature, it can be really easy to get burned out. So like we have to take that few minutes when we can so that we don't burn out. Mr. Bradboy says, anyways, though, thank you for listening. We were all sharing some serious stuff. Yeah, for sure. I'm glad that you guys feel comfortable to do that. I figured I'd share some of mine. I'm good and looking forward to having a great year. I'm glad that your dad is doing well. I'm glad he's cancer free now. It sounds like it was a difficult time and it was a difficult choice that he made to tell you how and when he did, but I'm glad that he's still in your life and that you still get to spend time with each other. That's my cue. I will try and come back. Sent you a DM on Facebook. Oh, you did? Okay, let's see. Let's see. Don't worry, I don't share them unless people specifically say, you can share this. Wow. It's the picture of the piece you were describing. That's amazing. I don't know if you are still in the chat, Misha, but if you are, let me know if you would like me to share that on here. Um, as a practice, I don't share stuff on screen that people send me unless like they say, yeah, go for it. Now, if you mention that you sent it to me, then I'll like, while we're on live stream together, then I'll mention it, but I'm not gonna, like, hold it up unless you say, "Yeah, go for it." Oh, no. Miss Dragon says, "I've had a head MRI before, but I didn't have my contacts on. I stuck at not being able to see anything." Oh, no. I mean, maybe it would have been easier for me if I couldn't see anything. Well, no, that probably would have been worse. I probably would have panicked more because then I'd be unsure of my surroundings, and that would suck. Janet G, exactly. Jesse Miller says, "One time I was able to meditate in an MRI, but it's so tough. I didn't mean to coin it a cage, but that's what it feels like." That's what it looked like to me. Like it looked like a cage on the face. Like I need a safe word for that, guys. Sorry, it's after midnight. We can be that way, right? Um, yeah, I'm glad that you're here, Misha and M Hummingbird. I'm glad that all of you guys are here. Like this is I love that we can hang out and talk like this. You did, Mr. Bradboy. That's cool. So I did theater before in college. I've always had a gift to act and remember lines. Our final exam was a play called Oedipus. Sounds the O is silent. I know Oedipus. My husband's done that with students before. That's really cool, Mr. Bradboy. Hey, Fairbrick Studio. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for saying hi. I love the little emojis. Yes, ma'am, Miss Ann Hummingbird. Way too many MRIs, CT scans, and PET scans. Way too many of them. I guess I have had a CT scan. I've had a CT scan of my head and like my sinuses. And then I've had the MRI. I don't think I've had any PET scans, but when I was dealing with my intracranial hypertension and it was affecting my optic nerves, I had to regularly do a bunch of, like, the eye exam stuff. Like, I had to see not an optometrist, but an ophthalmologist, like a retina specialist to make sure that, my, you know, optic nerves weren't swelling up so bad and causing me to go blind, which they didn't, and my symptoms of that went into remission, and I'm lucky, but, um, yeah, way too many scans, way too many tests. Same person. Oh, yeah, yeah, I think I picked that up, that you meant that, like, she's physically an adult, but a young person in her mind. And I asked about respite care, and you said, "No, we lost our regional center worker after the pandemic and no replacement yet." After the pandemic? That's been so long ago. Holy crap, Ann Hummingbird. Oh, no. Whereabouts are you? I mean, I don't know that I know anybody there, but geez, that's been a long time. Like, you need something, you need some support. That's crazy. That's really, really hard. Justin Millie says, "I've read Oedipus. It must be interesting and maybe tough as a play." The play is very, it's just very like the script itself is just like a classic, like it reads like something that's old that was written in an older style a long time ago. Um, but if done well, it's a good play. Oh, I love this, Mon. I'll come over. I love playing with all aged people. Mud pies are the best. Oh, if I do a channel with like reading books, that would be cool. Like reading kids' books. Well, I noticed so from time to time, we do let my kiddo watch YouTube Kids, and we try to keep it, like, to a minimum, but what I've noticed is that the videos that he likes the most are really just people reading books out loud, and we've always read to him, like, even when he was too tiny to get it and know what was going on, like, even when he was a newborn, we would read to him, because that's just one of our values. We're both readers. It's important to us, and, He, so we read like 3 books every night before bed, and it just extends to the type of YouTube Kids content he watches, so I don't feel so bad about it because it's actually a person, like, reading a book aloud, so but I thought it would be fun to do that, and then also, then if, like, I ever have to be out of town or something, hubby can, like, put that on for him if his vocal cords are tired from reading too much. I get it kicked out of these people who are just exhausted and can't wait for their kids to go to their fathers for a few days. I'm like, "Seriously, we had our kids 24/7, we didn't get a break." Yeah, like, that's a toughie, like, I don't the people that I know that have, like, joint custody of their kids, during their time that they don't have them, none of them feel like they're getting a break. Like, it doesn't like, none of them ever describe it as feeling like any kind of relief. Like, everybody I know that's had that describes it more like feeling empty while their kiddo's not with them. But, I mean, that's just what I've heard. I've never been in that situation, so missed. So I would show my kids outside, lock the 6-foot cyclone fences, and lock the screen doors so they couldn't come in until I said so. I raised them like they were Gen X. They ran around and played outside all day. That's not a bad thing. I'm technically an elder millennial, being born in '87, but my parents kind of did that way too. Like, in the summers, I would spend, like, all day with my best friend just, like, walking up and down the creek in the woods by our house. And, like, we would stop in every now and then to, like, get some water or something to eat and check in, but we just, like, ran around outside all day long and, like, usually with no shoes on. Partly because you're walking through the creek and your feet get wet and stuff, so I think they tried to raise us a little bit Gen X, even though technically I'm a millennial. I'll claim it. Yeah, I hear you, and Hummingbird and the MRI, it's the horrible noise that I can't handle. Yeah, yeah. For me, the noise would be fine, but I could see where it would bother people. Like, if it was just the noise, I'd be okay. Or if it was one of those open MRIs, I might be okay. The ones that instead of a tube, it's kind of like just a circular thing. I have yammered on past 1 in the morning, you guys. I'm looking to see our good friend Chow Yun Smut has gone live, and I don't like to talk I don't like to cast over my friends' lives because I like everybody to go support them. But I do wanna, like, see what's going on in the chat. Oh, wow, at the clinic, they give them this. That's interesting to know, Janet G. At my husband's radiology clinic, they give patients Ativan if they need it for the MRI or CT. See, mine told me, like, well, maybe mine was different because I already saw a psychiatrist regularly for medication management. Like, I've had the same psychiatrist since I was, like, 21, and, like, she's managed my depression, medication, and anxiety stuff since then. So I think that's why they just said, "Call her and, see what she thinks is appropriate to have you take." In North Los Angeles County. Okay. So, what I am still, like, looking into respite care for myself, so I don't have all the answers. I'm not the expert. What I was told, though, was that a lot of the time, like, a person's health insurance will cover at least a little bit of it, if they have a particular type of diagnosis. So, maybe that's something for us to research together because I know I need something a little different than traditional babysitting for my kiddo, for sure. They never even offered you anything for your MRI? Man, they must have thought you were cool as a cucumber. They must have thought, "Oh, she's gonna be fine." Ooh, I'm not a fan of this tea. I bought some new tea today, it's hibiscus. Maybe it's just because 'cause it's been setting too long. It's not my favorite. I think I might have to give it away. So I still have most of the box. Darn. So she can do sign language? That's really cool. Corey's like Rain Man in sign language. That's good that she has a means of communicating that way. But I know that that doesn't make everything easy, but some kind of communication is just it seems to help with their frustration so much. Like, my situation is totally different. Like, my kiddo's 5. He has autism, but he's 5, and he can speak, but, like, for a long time, he still doesn't quite speak like his peers. It's more like, there's more scripting to it, although he is getting to where he can answer questions, but he's not, like, conversational. Um, but once he started getting down, like, some functional language, like, "I want this, I want that," I noticed that I mean, he still has meltdowns, don't get me wrong, but I noticed that they were a lot less frequent and a lot less intense, and we figured it was because, "Oh, he can ask for the things he needs now." He was just getting frustrated that he couldn't do that. I have tried to show him Bluey once. I'll have to give it a shot again. He's kind of particular about his shows he likes to watch, Mon, but I'll reintroduce Bluey to him over the weekend. Yeah, when your kiddo's with the other parent, the first day or 2 feels like a break, but then the emptiness sets in. That sucks. That sucks. That sounds like a good time to, like, find something, I don't know, like, something productive to do during that time to take your mind off it, though, because it's one of those things where, like, you can't it's out of your control, right? So, we have to find ways to cope with it, I guess, but that's really hard. I'm so sorry. Hey, fellow 87 baby, cool, nifty. My oldest was born in '88, Miss Dragon says. These kids didn't get toy guns, they got actual weapons. They learned it in the early age. It's not a game, they hurt. Wow, that's hardcore. Not even BB guns, like, they just went straight to, like, a 22? That's hardcore. I mean, respect. I don't think I could trust my kiddo with something like that yet. Yet. I'm not putting a limitation on him, but oh, we've got Bluey fans in the house. But Ann Hummingbird said Corey loves Full House. Will she, like, do the thing where she rewatches episodes over and over, like, for comfort? I've met a lot of people that do that. Mr. Bradboy says, I had a kid at my school who never talks. Like, he was in my track team, very quiet. I thought he was autistic too. He only spoke when asked questions." Well, yeah, that's kind of hard to tell from just the way someone speaks alone. Um, People who are diagnosed with autism might be able to speak out loud very well, and their symptoms are more around, like, their sensory experience and, like, lights being too bright and, like, getting easily overwhelmed by multiple, sources of information and things like that, but so it's possible. Or it's possible he was just painfully shy. Like, I don't know if I've told you guys, I was painfully shy in elementary school. Like, I didn't speak in groups at all until I was, like, in, maybe 5th grade? Like, no, 4th grade. Um, and then I was reading out loud one day in class because this is when they still had you do that. I don't know if they have kids do it anymore, but, like, they would have you take turns reading aloud from a textbook. And I was doing that, and I was reading just fine, but I was very quiet, like, very inward like this. And, my 4th grade teacher made a point of encouraging me to project and encouraged me by, like, saying, like, "You have a good voice and, this and that, and you should do it so people can hear you." Um, so I'll always remember that. So, the being quiet, he could be autistic, or he could just be real, real quiet, you know? All right, Jesse. Get some sleep. Thanks for coming to hang out with us. Well, you guys, there I finally caught up with the chat, you guys. I'm gonna drop Chow Yun's Mutt's link here because I've kind of talked a little over. I thought I was only gonna be here for like 30 minutes, you guys. That's what happens every single time without fail. I'm like, I'm just gonna come for 30 minutes and probably no one will show up, but a couple of you always do, and then other people trickle in and it's a good time. I like being able to talk about both serious stuff with you guys and kind of more lighthearted stuff too. I think that's a really important actually. I think important to balance our intensity with some levity, you know? Um, if you've got your head down working on really, really heavy things all day long, then it's real easy to burn out if you don't have some humor or some lightness injected in there somewhere. And maybe not everybody like does the whiplash thing and like switches right from like super serious to like super silly, like in the same thing. Like I'm trying to get better about that. I'm trying to like get better at transitioning, but I think it's important to have both. I am going to Oh no, I accidentally closed the YouTubes on the phone so I can't share her ad. Not ad, her link. Y'all can tell I'm getting sleepy, I guess. It's a good thing that I'm sleepy, actually. Like I'm relieved that I'm sleepy because I wasn't for a long time. Like I you would think I could just like stay up and be super productive, but that's not how my insomnia works for me. It just kind of like turns into like this weird kind of non-productive thing. So I'm glad that I'm sleepy again and that I will likely be able to sleep as soon as we log off. Here is Chow Yun Smut. That is our friend Cricket's channel. She does cool content a lot like this, where you recognize folks in the chat, you interact with the chat. She has a different style than me, obviously, but I love, love, love her style, and I love, the space she makes for this community. So please hop over there if you're still needing some more time to chat and connect with people. Um, if you have a page 47 you want me to do, like of a book you're reading or of a book you have, email it to me. I would love that. That would be so much fun. Um, my email for this channel is kristenmelinda47 at gmail.com. Let's see if I can type it without putting a typo in my own name. For example, I am a Kristen, not a Kirsten. Or if you want to send me, you know, just pictures of, the environment, like the wildlife where you live or something like that. I always love stuff like that too. Or if you want to just say hi, feel free to say hi too. All right. Well, that's all. Thank you guys so much for coming to hang out. And thank you for bringing the awesome, thoughtful comments and questions and perspectives as always. I really appreciate this. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening. Sleep well if you're going to sleep, or see you over at Chow Yun Smut's channel. Bye, guys.